I guess the question is it the responsibility of the governing body of golf there to pick a club that works best for, the professional players, or one that's politically correct? Eric?
Yes.
Well, what do you think?
No, I mean, listen, I understand that having a private men's club, a private women's club, but if you want to have a club like that, then you can't host a major championship. I think it's as simple as that.
I think that there's obviously a difference between, the ancient royal clubs in the UK and America. But I have some experiences going into grill rooms in this country at golf clubs, and I felt like a second-class citizen, and that's wrong.
Is that because you weren't allowed, or just because?
Well, it was women. Women weren't allowed in the grill room, and that made me feel really strange. And I understand. I've been watching what they've been saying in the UK. Well, we're going to get to that. We'll get to that. Nobody likes change, but they need to get to it because it's wrong.
Yeah, they need to address it. 3 of the 9 courses that host the British Open don't allow women. So at some point, they need to make the change. It's going to take some time, and people have to be patient for these changes to come. I mean, the Masters.
And they're going to drag their feet.
But why do you say it needs to take time? Why?
Well, a little bit. Change always takes time, right?
Okay,
I mean,
so
maybe within a year.
So the clubs can take however long they want, but it's simple. The RNA in this case, or when the tournaments are in the United States, the PGA can say, okay, you guys can do whatever you want to do, but we're not going to allow you to host any sort of tournament that involves our affiliation.
But you've had all these guys in here for years and years and years. Okay, I understand. All right,
it's an old boys club.
It is an old boys club, but it's you think they're just going to change their mind like that?
No, they are not.
So they've got to catch up. You got to give them a little time, and I think. Be patient and let the change come. And women, know your roles, women. No, I'm just kidding.
And Rory McIlroy needs to catch up.
This is so going to go into a
firing
different
it up.
direction.
How about Rory McIlroy saying he hasn't been advised on how to address the issue when he was asked about it?
Because
nothing.
He doesn't want to burn
He's a moron.
No, he doesn't want to burn any
stupid.
bridges because it's all
okay, but you can't be
set up.
directed to how you think. Right, the way you think is the way you think.
My agent hasn't told me what to say.
It's all
yet.
about sponsors and money.
Okay, I just want to go back to what happened in tennis, right? I don't remember some years ago, maybe, 5 years ago, the big tournament in Dubai wouldn't give, and the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, wouldn't give a visa to Shahar Pereira, an Israeli player, and they said it's because we're afraid of security reasons, having an Israeli player here. And Andy Roddick said, you know what, then I'm not going to go, and he boycotted. The WTA ended up fining the organizers of that tournament $300,000 and said, we need assurances that this will never happen again. I credit Andy Roddick for saying, I'm not going to go if this is your policy. And I actually want to see some PGA players step up and do the right thing. Tell me this, how many points would Tiger Woods make with women who he has so enraged over his personal things if he said, you know what, I'm not going to participate in a tournament at a club that doesn't allow women.
But you know what, he's had that opportunity and he's not going to
Never taken it. Never. But none of the golfers have wanted to make any sort of
shift the boat.
And
nobody does.
And it goes back to this is the old boys network. I'd like to see somebody stand up and be a leader.
Well, they would say, look, it's a private club, we can do whatever we want.
And that's fine. But then the PGA or the RNA does not have to hold its tournament there. And that's what it comes to. That's what it comes to.
I'm just listening. This is great television.
Fascinating.
Right
It's just,
we're the leader in change, though. So change, change seems to.
Who's we?
The United States, maybe. It took the Masters a long time. To change its rules. Yeah. So.
And it's kind of changed.
Yeah, it's kind of changed, but it's taking time, and I think eventually it'll get some traction, and maybe the same thing, in the British Open, or you mentioned the golf tournament.
People who now are at
two members at Augusta.
2 members at Augusta. So
they're starting somewhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be doubled or tripled by next year.
Okay, listen, we're going to double or triple our time here on television, so we're going to leave you now here on TV. You can continue this discussion over on SportsEdge.com. For now, here on TV, we're going to turn it over to our fitness contributor.
And I was just kidding, ladies.
Well, but I think that it's important that we make this distinction. I'm not saying that Muirfield has to be men and women. I think it's silly that they're not. But if they want to continue living in these archaic times, go ahead. But I think the RNA has to step up and say, no, then you can't be part of what we're doing here because you can't exclude a large group of people. The head of the RNA has come out and said, well, I'm not going to compare this to racism or anti-Semitism. This is different.
He's also not a woman. Okay?
No, exactly.
That's a problem.
And how can you say it's okay to exclude one group, but it's not okay to exclude another group?
But they allow women
I
guests. You can come as a guest.
Well, yeah,
how
and you
nice
can
of
come
them.
and you can come and pay and watch these tournaments too, which is all good. But going back to what you said, They don't want to change. They're going to give lip service to it, but I think it's going to be a long time before you're going to see any difference there.
And I think it's more than that. I think there's a really high level of arrogance, which is you're not going to tell us when the media is not going to tell us when we have to change.
Right.
We'll change when we're good and ready.
Right.
And then it'll be because we want to do it. It'll be because this is an action we're going to do, not because anyone forced us into it. And that's what Augusta did for a long time. And Augusta is really as successful as it gets at being arrogant. I mean, you're dealing with the most arrogant people in the world there. And, you know, Martha Burke, remember when she was with Now or whatever, she led the protest? And boy, Augusta handled that brilliantly by saying, okay, you know, we don't want, our next tournament we're putting on, we're not going to have any commercials, right? Because they went after the advertisers saying, don't advertise at this tournament at a club that's, you know, excluding women. And they said, okay, fine, we're not going to do it. And so when you have enough money, you can do that.
Well, to your point, it's going to take somebody stepping up to saying, I'm not going to play. And a big power member player, but I don't think that's going to happen.
And let's be honest, on Monday, will anyone be talking about this?
Yes, we will be.
Well, and they'll be talking.
You know what I mean?
They'll be talking about the tournament. And look, if you make your living playing golf, you have to go out there and play golf. But if you make such a living at playing golf where you can step up and be a leader,
Yeah.
I'm not saying they have to. I would
It's
just
not
say
gonna happen.
I'm just saying I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
I would
it won't
love to
happen.
see somebody step up and say, "Hey guys," just like Andy Roddick did. Now Andy Roddick's case was a little different, and I think that the men's tour and the women's tour in tennis handled this much better than the governors of the golf are handling
Yeah,
this.
it's not going to
The
happen.
guy who might do it is Phil Mickelson. He might be a guy who maybe eventually steps up.
Let's
and
call him up,
yeah,
shall we?
We should give him. He's on
Lead
speed
the
dial right on my
charge.
phone.
Well, he owes us a trip to Cromwell the next couple of years.
That's right. We'll talk
He's
There
about
you
coming
go.
that.
next year,
Ask
supposedly.
him when they come. Absolutely.
Well, but do you think like women and men should have places to go? Maybe not in a golf course like that's hosting the British Open, but should there be a place for women only, men only? I mean,
Here's what I would like. I would think that women should build their own golf courses, and then we'll exclude you. How do you like that?
I'm all right with that.
How about
Like
it?
really
Yeah, no.
powerful.
Don't you think
gorgeous
it's healthy
places.
though to go to a women's only club, a men's only club, and you know just spend some time with the guys, spend some time
No.
with it? No.
No.
I don't. You know,
Okay. I'm not. I don't. I'm just
I don't-
throwing it out there.
I
I mean,
think-
I love. You know, I have 3
You all
daughters.
are entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I need a break once in a while.
take
That,
them,
and,
please.
and that in lies what the issue is. We're going to be with our guys. We don't need the chicks around. That's what the deal is.
Here's that
you
bumper
know,
sticker
and
on the
they're-
scarf.
yeah. I think they also need to kind of hold up this tradition. Traditionally, this has
Right.
been an all men's
Right.
club, but look, you know, Vassar used to be an all women's college, and there are men going to school there now.
There
So,
you go. Way to end it.
There you go. All right, hey, we'd love to hear your comment. Do so right here on SportsEdge.com. We'll see you later.